Does anyone else also miss quarantine? Cause life was actually kinda nice back then. Fun fact, this channel used to be a vlogging channel because during quarantine, I had a small passion for wanting to make day in the life, get ready with me videos. And guess what? No one cared about my day in the life. That whole plan failed because I actually suck at talking in front of a camera. I could never do the, hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I couldn't say that. So quarantine was a nice memory. I think it's because before quarantine, our life was super cool. And then when we were sent home, our lives got noticeably worse. But now compared to COVID, things got a little worse. It's all perspective. And now I'm an adult because I start saying goofy stuff like, it's all perspective. I haven't really kept up with my high school friends. Well, a little during and after college, we would hang out and catch up, and thankfully, we all grew up from the childish boys we used to be. We were the type of high school group of boys who would go to In-N-Out, and when we were done eating, one of the boys said, oh, they're calling out order 68. When they call out the next order number, let's moan and run out the store. Okay, I was too embarrassed to do that, so I just didn't moan with them and embarrassingly followed them out. I hope they're doing good. We're just on our anime time skip arc where after a couple of years of not seeing each other, we all meet together, and some of them are married, some of them are working for big companies, and guys like me draw pictures and try and be funny. When we would hang out during quarantine, the jokes would come quick, we'd be sharing our college stories and get a little jealous because they're talking about my replacement. But when we met up after college, the spark wasn't there anymore. It wasn't that we aren't compatible anymore, but it's as if we're both aware, so we're grown dudes now. We're not the goofy goobers we used to be. But is he still a goofy goober? Anyways, I miss quarantine because for a brief moment, all the professors didn't know how to instruct their classes over the internet. It made things really unorganized and spontaneous, and I could cheat on so much stuff. By the way, FBI, this is all made up. When we would take our online exams, there was this thing called lockdown browser where the professor could watch all of the students take their test, and it would detect if our eyes veered off to the side and alert the professor that this student is randomly looking away, he's probably cheating. It was some kind of software that we had to download on our computers, and it wouldn't let you leave the page to try and bring up your online notes. But what my professors failed to realize is that Kevinu spent his entire childhood in the Hidden Leaf Village where cheating and deception came naturally. You could theoretically leave your phone next to your laptop keyboard out of the webcam's field of view, as it would make it seem like you're just looking at your exam or your physical class notes, if we were ever allowed those. But if the professor didn't allow us to use our physical class notes, then I allowed it. The lockdown browser was straight up unnecessary. Shout out to the professors who didn't want to put that on the students because they also agreed that it was very exploitative. And to the professors who made us use the lockdown browser, your students still cheated. If you've ever sat through one of these online lectures, you would know how boring it is. And when you're not there, you sort of get distracted and go do other things like microwave some pizza rolls. This was the canon event that deteriorated my attention span because during every lecture, I would be playing Genshin Impact on my other monitor. Actually, it was more like I would be playing Genshin Impact and watching the lecture on my other monitor. There's this one professor that talked so incredibly slow. I couldn't take it anymore. I needed something else to focus on to keep me from exploding. And that's when I would grind a ton of Genshin during these lectures. Did I sort of lose comprehension as a result? Yeah. But hear this. Some professors would get salty that people weren't joining the online lectures, so they would put out these short questions throughout the lecture to count as a participation grade. So joining the lecture and then leaving your computer would not get you the attendance grade. And then your grade gets no-scoped because, yeah, you got an A on the test, but you didn't sit through my lecture. Now your grade goes from an A to a B. Genshin solved everything, as I could tune into the lecture and have some other stimulation on the side. When the professor activates the poll question, I would politely tell official that I have matters to attend to and I'll be back to continue our adventures. Although quarantine made me miss the social aspect of school, I could socialize in my high school group chat and the group chat I made with my freshman friends. To me, that was good enough because this 2-week break is gonna be sick. I hope they cancel our final exams because of this small virus. The funny thing about remote learning is that we got so used to each other's Discord usernames that when we eventually got back into IRL learning, we would introduce each other by our usernames and not our actual names. Since I was pretty active in these class group chats and sometimes kind of snarky, I attained an infamous reputation in my major since we'd essentially have the same schedules every semester. In all of these Discord chats I was in, there was always this group of 5 guys who asked questions, answered questions, and also had anime profile pictures. Maybe I can befriend them and talk about anime. It wasn't hard to figure out who these guys were in real life because they traveled in this pack of 5 guys and would always sit in the front row. Well, if someone's being active in the Discord chat, then they're probably the one sitting in the front row. Nerds. So I was sitting in the second row because I'm also a nerd, but one day I decided to DM the head honcho. Hey, nice green hat that you're wearing today. He immediately snaps his neck backwards and I have to hit the... He replies back, who are you, pizza roll? I'm everywhere. He looks back again. I'm thinking, I'm the guy sitting one row right behind him. This is the perfect disguise. A little ruckus started and the 4 guys started to go on watchguard duty to see who was typing on their phone when Pizza Roll was typing something in the DMs. Well, guess what? I go crazy with the swipe to text features. I just need to lock in with and no one would know that I'm texting. The unmasked Italian-American frozen snack who made a reputation as a troll in these group chats was hiding in plain sight. This was all happening because the professor was late to class, by the way. But once the professor arrived, I waited till after class to reveal who I was. I sent him a picture of the back of his head, so it was obvious I was the guy sitting right behind him. I knew it was you. You were the guy literally right behind us, Pizza Roll. Lol. And that's when the cat was out of the bag. After 1.5 years as Pizza Roll, we finally met in person. These guys would always hit me with the, "Hi, Pizza Roll." This guy and girl in the vicinity were also like, "Oh my gosh, that's Pizza Roll?" And another time when I got into a randomized group project and we added each other into a group Discord server, one of the girls was like, "You're Pizza Roll?" It felt cool, like I did a face reveal as a well-known YouTuber or something. I wonder what that's like.